Brock Purdy, your office. Yeah, Brock. I'm talking to you, Brock. Yeah, you. No, you. No, I know you had a good game last week. Sure, for Mr. Irrelevant. But we're not holding you to that standard anymore, are we, Brock? No, we're not. Because you want $60 million a year, don't you? Oh, yeah, Mr. J.C. Penney over here. Yeah, you do. And you know what? I would too in your position because you've earned it. Because you're a damn good quarterback. You're a damn good quarterback. We see it. And I need to be held to that standard. None of this, oh, what a good story. He plays for minimum wage. He's got a roommate. Oh, my God, he's sponsored by Cohn. Now it's over. You're about to be the corporate Purdy. You're about to be Moneybags Magoo. Daddy Fat Sacks. Bigboi. That's going to be you. And as you see, you listen to how we were just talking to Brandon. When you're getting paid at the top of your position, particularly at wide receiver, and especially at quarterback, you get held to a higher standard, man. No excuses. Oh, you were open, you didn't get the ball? Your fault. Tell it to someone who gives a damn. And then you got the benefit of the doubt these last 2 weeks. Do you understand how lucky you are right now, Brock, and how this is going to end after this year? You just lost 2 games in a row. You lost to your backup from last year. Granted, Vikings are pretty good. You lost to your backup from last year, committed 2 turnovers in that game. You were a primary reason your team lost. 6 sacks, 2 turnovers. Of all the reasons the Niners, you're up there, maybe number 1. Then last week, yeah, you put up good numbers against the worst defense in the league and lose. And you turn the ball over again. Fumbled for the 2nd week in a row. If you hadn't fumbled, Niners probably win. In addition, despite all the great things you did in that game against the worst defense in the league, you needed to make a couple of plays to win the game. The throw to Ronnie Bell, great play. His drop could have won the game. But great quarterbacks who make hella money have to deal with that stuff all the time. We saw Patrick Mahomes last year. These guys couldn't catch the ball at all season. He doesn't just fold because there's one drop. Because you had another opportunity, didn't you, Brock? Didn't you? Brandon Ayuk was wide open. We saw the film. Sure, there was a busted coverage. You know what? He reacted. He was supposed to run a deep curl route. He didn't. He's like, oh, no one's covering me deep. I'll just run to the end zone. You can throw it deep. I'll catch it. We'll win. You didn't see it that way, did you, Brock? Did you, Brock? No, you didn't. No. You froze. You just froze. Why'd you freeze? We will never know. We're not in your head. But we saw it. We saw it with our own 2 eyes, Brock. We were watching. You froze. No, you froze. You saw him. You're staring at him. You triple, quadruple pump faked, and then you ran around? You froze. What does that say about you, Brock? You got to make that throw. $60 million quarterback, you got to make that throw. Here's the thing, Brock. Once you get that contract next year, you're going to get it. You're a hell of a quarterback. Once you get that contract next year, and you go through a stretch like this where you lose 2 games back-to-back to these teams, and you turn the ball over 3 times, and you just freeze when you're staring at a wide-open deep throw, and you just pass it up, no one's going to talk about your completion percentage over expected. No one's going to talk about your passing yards or your quarterback rating. No one's going to give a damn. Just like no one gives a damn that Brandon Ayuk's leading the league in separation average. No one cares. You're not producing. Produce. You're not winning. You lost to the Rams. You're turning the ball over. You're not pulling the trigger on deep throws. That's on you. And I'm not even asking you to be perfect. But when you're making that kind of money, people are going to expect you to be perfect. And we can't forget that Kyler Murray essentially was perfect the week before against the Rams. His quarterback rating was 158.3. I think he had 3 incomplete passes and 4 touchdown passes. So you were good. He was better. We need more. No more fumbles. Dude, you fumbled in a dome The ball just slipped out of your hands. We know you can't play in the rain. Precipitation is your kryptonite. But what was it humid? I was in Minneapolis. It was humid. It was 60 degrees with humidity, and the ball slipped out of your hands. Can't happen. Get some baby powder or a glove. You have to hold yourself to a higher standard because that's just around the corner for you. You're still a good story, but next year you won't be. You'll get held to the same standard that Jimmy Garoppolo was held to, or maybe even more intensely, because he only made like $27 million a year. You're going to make more than double that. No one's going to want to hear that you technically played pretty well in a loss to the Rams, who didn't have Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. No one's going to want to hear that. So enough praise for you, man. You've been getting nothing but praise for 3 years. Step it up. Step it up. Like, who are you without Deebo Samuel on the field, man? What is your record when the defense gives up more than 20 points? I don't care what your efficiency numbers are. What is your record when the defense gives up more than 20 points? Oh, it's not fair. Wins aren't a quarterback stat. You're right. You're absolutely right. Life isn't fair. You make this much money, that's the standard. Sorry.